All right, good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Great.
Seeing a couple thumbs up. Good. That's good. Well, welcome to Introduction to Physics, summer 2022. Woohoo! So just so you guys know, we're gonna kind of take it a little bit slow today, just kind of introduce the course, what to expect, what the outline of the next 6 weeks is going to look like. And then if you haven't checked the Canvas announcements, I do have a pre-test and a background survey that I need you guys to fill out. So I'll save some class time today so that you guys are able to do that. And I'll remain available if you have questions as you go through that pre-test. But I guess on that note, I will go ahead and start this PowerPoint. All right, can you guys all see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
all good.
Yes.
Yes, great. Thank you so much. Well, like I said, this is Introduction to Physics, summer 2022. My name is Laura Zamora, which I think is a pretty cool name because it rhymes. So that's a pretty fun quirk, I guess. But I will be your GSA for the next 6 weeks. This is my third time teaching the class. I taught this summer 2020 and summer 2021 as well. So if you have any questions about any of the material that I go through, please feel free to stop me at any time and ask away. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you have questions. You can type into the chat, although sometimes my computer is a little finicky and won't display the chat while I'm sharing my screen. So if you ask a question in the chat and I don't get to it right away, feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand or something like that. But here we go. So the description for this class, it is an introduction to Physics 1. So the purpose of this class is just to prepare you for Physics 1 that you'll take as an undergrad. So I don't really know any of you at this point or where you're coming from. That's the point of the background survey that you'll take in a few minutes. So some of you may have taken physics in high school or even AP or IB physics. Some of you may be already students at FIT. Some of you are likely incoming freshmen. And some of you might still be in high school next year. All of that is great, and I'm happy to assist you in any way that I can. But the purpose of this class really is just to introduce these topics. So we're not necessarily going to go super in depth into all of them because that's the point of Physics 1 that you'll take when you come to FIT. So I just want to introduce these topics to you so that you've seen them. You can kind of start to mull them around in your brain, see if you have any initial questions about them. And so that means that there are no real grades for this class because it's not a class that you're taking for credit. It will not affect your GPA in any way. Again, this is just to help prepare you for Physics 1 that you will take for credit. So there's very little pressure here. If there's something that you're not understanding, feel free to, like I said, to stop me and ask whatever questions you have. Yes, I see a question.
Oh, I understand that you said it might not affect our GPA, but what if we do really well in this class and we're enrolled in the school? Will that add to our GPA?
It will not, unfortunately. I mean, I wish it could. But if you do really well in this class, then that means you'll probably do really well in Physics 1 later on. And that will affect your GPA. So that's great for you. Reese.
Surprised to pronounce my name right.
Okay.
Will we be getting these PowerPoints?
Yes, I will be posting them on our Canvas page. I'll show you kind of a tour on our Canvas page later on in the PowerPoint as well. Okay. So we are going to be meeting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this will be, again, 6 weeks, So 23 sessions that will be meeting together because the 4th of July falls on a Monday this year, and so we will not have class on the 4th of July. Fridays are reserved by kind of the bigger program, all these introduction to classes. And so on Fridays, they'll have optional enrichment sessions. Here are some of the sessions that they've had in the past. Things like meeting with the faculty at FIT to kind of introduce you to some of the professors that you may have, career panels with different kind of engineering-based corporations around here, some orientation type thing to get you ready to move on to campus, some study tips or tips how to be successful in college. Yes, Victor.
And where would we access that?
That will be a separate Zoom link, which will be posted by the head of this program. She'll post a Canvas announcement each week with a Zoom link and more information about what is going to be presented at that particular one. Now, last year, these enrichment sessions were offered at a different time than our regular class time. She has not yet announced what time these will be this year, so just stay posted. Keep an eye out on the Canvas announcements, and I'll try to get you that information as soon as I am aware of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so obviously we are meeting on Zoom for this class. There's the Zoom link, which clearly you guys already have, but there might be some students who missed out on that. So I have the Zoom link here on our PowerPoint, which again, I'll post on Canvas. This Zoom link is also posted on our homepage on Canvas and in the welcome announcement that I posted over the weekend.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What slide are you on? Oh, the
The
PowerPoint?
welcome slide.
Like it's the first page still?
Yes.
Okay, I thought maybe that the screen was frozen. Thank you.
Nope, you're good. Something that I wanted to just draw your attention to very quickly is that my name and my email do not match each other. And that's because when I started out at FIT for my undergrad, I was Laura Zagorski. And then I got married after my junior year. My name changed to Laura Zamora, but they did not change my email address to match. So there's my email for you. That's the one that will get to me. You can also email me directly through Canvas and it will still get to me as well. I just wanted to point that out to you guys, just so you're not confused and wondering who that El Zagorski person is. It's me. I don't have office hours scheduled right now, but again, if you have questions about anything that we're going through and you maybe don't feel comfortable asking in this large group setting, you're welcome to send me an email. I can try to meet up with you one-on-one if there's like a particular issue that you're having. Just send me an email and we can schedule that as needed. Okay. Just a couple of things about me so that I'm not just a completely random stranger telling you what to do. I got married to my husband Abraham in 2013. So again, that was after my junior year. And then I graduated from Florida Tech in 2014. I majored in astronomy and astrophysics. I have 3 super adorable kids. Not that I'm biased or anything, but I just think they're the greatest kids in the whole world. That first picture is my son, AJ. He just turned 5 in March. The middle one is my daughter, Lily. She's 2.5. And
we can't see your slides if you're showing them.
Oh, that's curious. Okay, let me try to share them again. How about now?
There we go. That's better.
Great, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Yes, so AJ is my first one, Lily's 2.5, and then Uriah is my baby boy who was born right around Christmas time. So I started my PhD in space science here at FIT back in 2019. So fun fact, I've had 2 kids since I started grad school. It's a whirlwind. My life is crazy, but I love it. So I'm still working on finishing up my courses for that. So I have 3 classes left, and then I can defend my, propose my dissertation. So that's very exciting. I was a teacher before, well, between graduating undergrad and coming back for grad school. I taught at Melbourne High School for 4.5 years. I taught physics, honors physics, eurythmics, so marching band, color guard, and honors astronomy. And I loved it. I thought it was great. But then I came back for grad school full time. And I love science, physics, cat memes, which will be incorporated fairly regularly. Puns, music. I played cello predominantly, but I've played a lot of other instruments too. Knitting, camping, Legend of Zelda, Doctor Who, and the Bible. So yeah, there's just a couple of random things about me. Moving on. The class outline for this. The book that I pull a lot of this information from is University Physics with Modern Physics by Young and Friedman. I didn't bring my copy with me because it's kind of old and falling apart, but it's a pretty substantial book. It's about yay big, like 1,500 pages, kind of big. And you may need to buy that for your Physics 1 class. It depends on what professor you have. You do not need to buy the textbook for this introduction to physics class. I just put it there just so that you know where I'm getting the information from. But this is the textbook that I used for AP Physics in high school, and then again throughout my Physics 1, Physics 2 kind of trajectory through FIT. It's a great book, but like I said, it is pretty hefty. There's an outline of the class as well, just kind of an overview. Keep in mind that depending on your familiarity with the topics, the schedule is subject to change. But this first week, we'll be going through chapters 1 and 2 in the book. So units, quantities, vectors, and motion in a straight line. So probably stuff that you've seen before, either in a math class or another science class, chemistry maybe. And then of course, if you've taken physics in high school, you would have seen this then as well. We'll then move on to motion in 2 or 3 dimensions, so projectile motion and Newton's laws. We'll apply those laws in various scenarios and then move into work and energy. After energy, we'll move into momentum and collisions, and then we'll do some rotational motion type things. The last week I have equilibrium and course review. This one is the most sort of flexible week, again, depending on how much wiggle room we need on these particular topics. So in order to be successful in this class, remember, there's no formal grade for this course, but since these topics do kind of build on each other, and this is sort of a condensed 6-week study, it is fairly fast-paced. So each week I will be posting on Canvas some resources for you to try if you would like to, some kind of worksheets or quizzes or study guides, that sort of thing. And then a few days after I post those worksheets, I'll post the answer key so you can go back and check your work if you would like to. Now, again, these are not required assignments for you. I'm not going to be grading them for you, but this is just for you to practice if you would like to. And I definitely recommend practicing if there's a particular topic that you get stuck on, because again, these topics do build on each other and you will see them again in Physics 1 later on. Also, participating in this sort of lecture portion is, directly related to your success as well. So even if you don't have questions to ask as we go through it, we will be going through example problems together. My recommendation is to have a pencil and paper and a calculator ready to go so that you can walk through these examples on your own, and I will give you time to do that. And then, we'll come back and compare and talk about the answers. This class is really conceptual. I mean, we are going to do a lot of examples, but it is more of a conceptual understanding that's important here. So, in this class and in Physics 1 in general, don't just memorize solutions, figure out the process to get to that solution, right? So understand the concepts, how they relate to each other, how you can logically think from one point to another. That's more important than just memorizing a solution to a problem. Of course, this is physics, so it is based on math. It's applied math as well. So I'll get a better understanding of your math background from that background survey that you'll take in a little bit. But we will be pulling from trigonometry, from vectors, from algebra, not so much geometry or calculus. I'm not doing a calculus-based physics. However, I will introduce you to some calculus topics if you have not seen them previously. And then asking for help is encouraged. So ask for help from me, from your fellow students, from outside resources, Khan Academy, YouTube, all sorts of things. They're there for your convenience, right? And it's better to ask early rather than late. Physics cats. So an important thing to keep in mind as well is that you've been studying physics your whole life. You just may not have had the particular terms to associate with particular concepts. But I mean, if you think about it, you've been throwing balls since you were a child, probably, and that is projectile motion. So some of these topics you'll kind of understand instinctively just from your own experience. And now we're going to put equations and words to these concepts that you've been internalizing for your whole life. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about any of the kind of introductory information that we just went through?
I'm pretty good.
Great. Nolan.
All right, you say trig. I've taken a physics class before, but I just wanted to ask, just for clarity here.
Yes.
We're not going to be covering any trig identities, right? Those are my kryptonite.
No, those are my kryptonite too. Ah, they're the worst. Sorry if you love trig, but
I like trig as much
It's
as the
hard.
next guy, but the identities is where I draw the line.
yeah, I'm with
It's kind of a running joke in my calc classes.
No, I mean, the most trig that we will do in this class is really just like sine, cosine, tangent. So knowing, yeah, if we're given a triangle with angles in different places, and we need to learn how long one side of the triangle is, figuring out which trig function to use based on the information that we're given.
Good. I'm very relieved.
Glad to hear it. Any other questions?
Will the recordings be in Canvas?
I will post them on YouTube and then post a link to the YouTube video on Canvas.
Okay.
Yes, I have to do it kind of a roundabout way just because of my permissions as a GSA. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, like I said, I am going to give you time to do this pre-test and the background survey. So I'm going to show you where on Canvas you can go to access them, kind of give you a little orientation of our Canvas page, and then I'll release you to take those quizzes. Give me one moment to pull up that window.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a specific one you want us to take first, or?
No, it doesn't matter. It's more important that, you know, I just see the information at some point.
And will this be the last thing we do today, or will we start covering content?
This will be the last thing that we do today because I
Okay.
need to know your background in order to kind of tailor
Yeah.
the instruction to you guys. So can you guys see our Canvas page?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so this is what you should see when you come to our Canvas page. The website is right up here at the top. If you are currently an FIT student, this is a different Canvas than the Canvas that you use for your other main campus classes. And that's just because this is a virtual class. So Florida Tech CE or continuing education.instructure.com. That's how you'll get to this version of Canvas that we're using. So here on the home page, my screen is a little bit different than yours just because I'm the instructor, but you should see all of this information in front of you, right? A link to our Zoom meeting. So there it is again. meeting ID in case you need it. This schedule kind of outlines what we'll be doing on each particular day. And this is also where I will be posting the link to each video once it's posted on YouTube. Now that will not happen immediately after class because it does take a little bit of time to process and for YouTube to like publish the video. But it will be there the same day, maybe an hour or so after class ends. So check back here for links to previous videos if you miss a class. Okay. It also says down here that I'll post practice worksheets for each topic under the files tab as we go through it. And then my email is right there at the bottom. So if we have any announcements from myself, if I have to miss class for a day for some reason, or for those enrichment sessions, this is where you'll check for those important announcements. It should email you as well, but if not, try to keep an eye on this announcement page. Okay. Assignments, we really don't have any other assignments showing up in here other than these three: this pre-test and the background survey, which are available to you right now, and then this post-test you'll take at the end of the 6 weeks. Those are the only assignments that you should see in this tab, because again, the assignments that I'll post are just resources for you, practice, they're not graded assignments. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask each other, or if you're having issues working through a topic, you're welcome to utilize this discussion board. It's there for you. And then files down here, this is where I will be posting all of the worksheets and answer keys, that sort of thing for you guys. So it is kind of broken down by large topic. There's nothing published yet for the worksheet. So even if you click on things, you know, it's probably blank for you still, but that will be posted starting tomorrow. Okay. And then you can also access those quizzes, the pretest and the background survey through this actual quizzes tab. Do you guys have any questions about Canvas? You've never used it.
I have a question about physics at FIT generally.
Yep.
When it comes to like tests, I know that this is going to be my first year at FIT, but I know that at other schools, some teachers are like flexible. They kind of decide what they want to do when it comes to like tests and like whether or not they're open notes. I know that with physics, there's a lot of equations and sometimes there's like sheets given already.
Yeah.
How likely are the tests in like physics classes going to be like open notes or not?
Ooh, open notes really depends on the particular professor. A lot of professors shy away from open book, open note kind of tests in the physics 1, physics 2 level. Because honestly, open note tests tend to be harder than those note tests. Like they make them harder purposefully.
Yeah.
So, you know, if one of the professors gives you the option of open book or closed book, I mean, that's up to you, but just keep in mind that open book tests are generally harder.
When it comes to like equations and stuff, are those
Right.
likely to be given or
Almost
memorized?
almost every professor, I'm trying to think if there are any who don't allow it, but almost every professor for physics will allow you to create your own equation sheet.
Okay.
They generally do not provide one for you.
There's my hidden notes.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of them will specify what can be on there. Some professors will say, you know, write whatever you want as long as it's just this particular size. You know, usually it's like an index card,
Yeah.
or one side of a sheet of paper. A lot of professors say it has to be in your own handwriting just so that they know you've taken the time to like go through the material and create this equation sheet. A lot of professors do require you to turn in the equation sheets that you've created.
Mhm.
So, you know, you can't hide too
Yeah.
much. But I think it's only been in calculus that I've been required to memorize all the equations, like we've
Okay.
not had an equation sheet.
All right.
Great questions.
Thank you.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, is this Vanessa?
No, do mommy.
Oh, okay, hello.
I haven't really scheduled my classes yet.
Okay.
I'm majoring in astrophysics and astronomy,
Ooh,
and I would love to take physics 2 and calculus with.
so you'd like to take physics 2 and calculus? Did I lose you at the end of that?
No.
Okay, cool. Yes, so I mean, I took AP Physics in high school and I still took both Physics 1 and Physics 2. I also took AP Calculus in high school, Calc 1 and 2 in high school, and I still took Calc 1, 2, and 3 at FIT. It really just depends on your comfort level with those particular topics, which, you know, I don't know you yet, so I can't speak for that.
Oh,
But you should try to register for your classes soon. And if you want some advice on, you know, which particular classes to register for, then I'm happy to stick around with you after this and try to work through that.
okay. I would love to also talk to you after class too.
Sure, sounds good. Vanessa, I saw you raise your hand at one point. Just have a question.
Yeah, I had a question about like after the course kind of ends, are we able to access all of the notes and stuff after?
That's a great question. I will inquire about that. I'm not sure. Usually what happens is after the end of the semester, your Canvas class will like disappear from your Canvas unless your professor has set it as like open enrollment, and then it will remain visible for you. I'm not sure how this particular class is set up. So I'll make myself a note to ask about that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But all of these recordings are on YouTube. They'll stay on YouTube. So you're welcome to just like search my YouTube channel and watch them at any point that you want. They will stay there. Okay, Christopher, I see in the chat, you never actually received an invite link for Canvas. I will inquire about that for you. Let me just write down your name so that I don't forget. Okay, likely it would have gotten sent to, if you're coming to FIT, it would have gotten sent to your FIT email. That's my best guess as to what happened there, but I can have them try to send an invite link to a different email if you need. Rachel, I see your question. If the Zoom meetings are mandatory, I mean, technically no, right? Because I'm posting all of these recordings for you on Canvas. So if there's a day that you're sick or you can't make it, or you get scheduled to work or that sort of thing, life happens. I totally get it. So these meetings are not mandatory, but active participation is mandatory in order to receive the completion certificate at the end. So, you know, as long as you keep checking in with me, that sort of thing, ask if you have questions, you know, I understand that life happens. Yes, Dr. Subasi is the one who is in charge of this overarching program. Okay. Nolan, you had a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
One for here and one to go, because I'm gonna be talking to you at the end of class.
Sure.
Do you write your own tests?
Do I write my own tests as a GSA?
Yeah.
Generally, no, because I don't like teach an actual course at FIT. I'm more of a teaching assistant. So in the past at FIT, I've taught Physics 1 and Physics 2 lab classes. which a lot of people take alongside the lecture. You don't have to though. You can take them at a different time. And so in those classes, since they're actual classes that count towards your GPA, there are tests and quizzes in those classes. But I write some of the questions. I don't write the entire test. So for this class, we don't have tests and quizzes. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I'll be sticking around.
Cool. Okay, Kian.
It's Keon. I started the physics pretest, and like for the questions that have like a photo on them, I just see like a lock screen and not the actual photo. And that's like for all the pictures. So
Okay, I will try to fix that for you. I did a practice test and it showed up for me on my computer, but I'll try to get that working for you as soon as possible. Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
I'm the same way as well, but that might be because I'm doing it on mobile.
Oh, yes. Kian, are you doing it on your phone as well?
no, I did it on my laptop. So
Okay.
I have the same thing and I'm doing it on my laptop.
Okay. I will take a look at that right now and we will try to figure that out. But if you guys have other questions, you're welcome to ask.
So I'm coming to FIT in the fall from New York. And so I have to take like all these physics regions and like all these big tests at the end of the year and everything. And I know that a lot of states like don't require that. But I know that at least in the high school level, they give you like reference tables with all of the equations and like different graphs and stuff on it, just like for an extra help. Do they give reference tables out down there, or is it just like the writing it out and turning it in like you said?
Okay, so my Physics 1 experience was from 10 years ago at FIT. So just keep that in mind. Professors have changed. But from my experience, no, they do not give out reference tables just because there are so many students who have to take Physics 1 and Physics 2. So those kind of constants and those sorts of things are what you would want to include on your equation sheet as well. Yeah. Some professors might be different now because like I said, the faculty has changed since I took Physics 1 as an undergrad. But from my experience, it is not provided.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so right now, I have published the images, like the course images. So hopefully that will help. I've also set the pretest so that you get multiple attempts for those of you who have already started it and can't see the images. So try, closing it out and coming back in, see if that helps. See if that makes a difference in your visibility.
Oh, where do I see the images?
Some of the questions should have images embedded in them.
Oh, are you talking about for the pretest?
Yes, for the pretest.
I can see the images now.
Perfect. That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Okay. Were there any other hand raises that I didn't respond to? I think I got them. Okay. Well, at this point, you guys are welcome to close out of Zoom if you would like to, and go ahead and start the pretest and the background survey. If you want to leave Zoom on while you take those tests, you're welcome to. But I'll go ahead and I'll stop the recording now, and I will meet you guys back here tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.